I'm Corbett Wall with DB Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, February the 2nd, brought to you in part by Beaver Red Angus Ranch from Leola, South Dakota. Performance is a cornerstone at Beaver. They've got their spring yearling bull sale coming up here on March the 3rd. That'll be on a Thursday. That sale is going to be at the ranch, but you can get on dbauction.com, view and bid that sale right there. If you're looking for top quality Red Angus females, then you want to wait for the online female auction on dbauction.com, and that's going to be April 20th and 21st. Storm's coming, big storm all the way across the central part of the United States, even down into the lower portions of Texas and way up north too, but all the way across with really frigid temperatures, be some ice and snow included in that. It'll be a kind of a miserable deal there for a few days. Also a storm coming down in Houston at the NCBA conference. They're going to have their discussion on Wednesday afternoon about whether they're going to approve or take a look at the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, whether they want to get behind that or not. Don't expect them to do that. Even though they've got a lot of state affiliates that are definitely in favor of doing that, even though Nebraska and Iowa Cattlemen's Association and Missouri Cattlemen's Association have tried hard to get something going on that, they just can't get enough votes together to outdo KLA and Texas Cattle Feeders Association, which has kind of bullied Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association into throwing in with them, even though they are or supposedly cow-calf or stalker type association there to pull for them. You would think they would get behind something like that, but we still got a lot of people out there that don't really understand everything that's going on with that deal. We've got some guys that sell negotiated cash that think that it's going to somehow hurt them. Maybe they won't be able to grid some cattle. They'll have to sell all their cattle cash. The onus is on the packer, not you guys. And in fact, if you guys have cattle in loose hands and you're going to be able to sell cattle cash, which a lot of those bigger outfits won't be able to, there's still going to be plenty of room for them to have their sweetheart deals and their formula trades. It's just the guys that do sell negotiated cash and have cattle where they can sell those. You guys are going to be in the catbird seat, absolutely, because you'll be able to turn that bid down whenever your packers give that and know that they're going to have to come back around later in the week, kind of like the old days. But we just got too many people voting against it at NCBA, so don't get to thinking that they're going to approve that. We saw some more information come out on Tuesday. The study that Texas A&M did, and I was pretty harsh on them, but we only saw one side of that on the results that were reported. Actually, the Texas A&M study that looked into this said that they expect and estimate that negotiated trade in Texas will be zero, net zero by 2026. Now that sounds like a way out in the future, but it's only 4 years, guys. But net zero negotiated trade. How's that make you guys feel? What are they going to do to establish the base price on those formulas then? I guess you're just going to let the packers decide what the base price is and then tell you how your cattle killed and you weren't there to see it, and you just take everything that they give you, I guess. I don't know. But that's real troubling. Net zero negotiated trade in Texas in 4 years. I didn't think it was coming quite that quick. But also the Texas A&M study, when they looked into it, said that mandates do provide price discovery and market transparency. So they didn't put that in the press release when they talked about the Texas A&M study. But I think there's going to be some pretty spirited debate on Wednesday over whether NCBA decides to support the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act to do their policy that said they were going to seek some type of a regulatory or legislative fix to get packers to participate in negotiated cash. But don't hold your breath, guys. But About 6,500 expected registered attendees at NCBA conference. Probably had more real producers up in Beartooth at Red Lodge, Montana on Saturday though. Let's talk about your board for Tuesday. February live cattle futures up 72 cents. They kind of struggled on the get-go, and then they were up a whole bunch and then kind of settled back down, but still pretty decent positive gains on both live and fed cattle all the way through. But like I said, February up 72 cents on live cattle, up over 140, settling at 140.30. Now we just said at the end of last week that we expected February spot live cattle to rally. The technicals did, and they already had. They've already gone back over 140. April live cattle up 85 cents, 145.37. That doesn't sound too bad. On your back months of live cattle up 27 cents to up 90 cents. March feeder cattle up 67 cents at 163.70. That's a pretty good premium to what cattle are bringing right now. You can't get 160 for a load of 8-weight steers unless everything is just absolutely perfect. April feeder cattle up 70 cents at 169.15. Wow, you think we'll ever see that? What about your back months on feeder cattle futures? Up 55 cents to up 92. Your grains were pretty volatile. On Tuesday, corn was up 8 3/4 cents at 634 3/4. Beans were up 38 cents a bushel. One session over South American concerns there. But 15.28 cents a bushel on soybeans. My goodness. Kansas City, a hard red winter wheat was up 5 cents at 786 1/4. How about your fat cattle trade? We did start to see a little bit. We really haven't established our fat cattle trade this week yet, but we had a little bit of trade in the northern plains. Iowa, about 1,100 head confirmed on Tuesday from 137 to 138. Now that would be on the high side of last week's negotiated trade there, 137 to 138. We had some 136 there late, but didn't see that on Tuesday. We did kick the dress trade off at 218, from 218 to 220. How about Nebraska? 2,600 head confirmed from 140 to 141. Now that would be quite a bit higher. Although that 140 or 141 was to regionals, which they're the ones that push the market for quality and numbers whenever they need them. But dress trade in Nebraska also higher at 220. Didn't have any trade in the southern plains. Of course, Texas doesn't hardly have any trade to speak of at all, and we don't get to see what Colorado does. But how about an auction? Stockman's Livestock in Yankton, South Dakota. That's about your best fat cattle auction, brick and mortar. About 1,900 head of slaughter cattle, including the cows and everything. But at Stockman's in Yankton, they sold most of their fat cattle from 140 to 145, with a few as high as 147. See, you can pay more for fat cattle if you want to. Just bid them up. It's not a big deal. Box beef cutout values were down pretty hard on Tuesday. Choice cuts 285.44, down almost $5, down $4.96. Selects 280.22, down 305. Your slaughter, once again, we're back to normal, guys, on this slaughter. I don't want to hear anybody whining about COVID keeping our production down. Our slaughter, 121,000. That's as good as we typically ever have it on the best pretty day that you can imagine. But 121,000 estimated on Tuesday. So far for the week, just 2 days in, 241,000. That's 8,000 more than last week and 7,000 more than the same week a year ago. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Real-time index on DV auction set at 158.35. That was up 9 cents, but we had a lot of sales on Tuesday. And our big heavy cattle aren't selling that well. And then I talked to several guys with that storm coming. The way up wasn't the greatest on those cattle on Tuesday. When a storm was coming, from the top to the bottom of the plains, those cattle tend to fill up before that, and it hurt the price on them quite a bit. How about your sales on Wednesday? OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma, 4,800 head, and he said, wait, Tuesday's the calf sale. Well, they went ahead and had their calves and their yearlings on Tuesday because of the impending storm coming in and likely slick roads. So they were on the ball there and got the cattle already sold at El Reno, but quite a bit lighter run than normal. But feeder steers weighing under 800 pounds were $2 to $4 higher, but those heavier, over 800 pound feeder steers in El Reno, $2 to $6 lower. Ouch. Feeder heifers steadied firm, calves $3 to $5 higher. How about some individual quotes that impressed me from all around the region? Kimbrell Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota, 74 head, 676 pound steers bring 185.85, weighing that close to 7. Guys, that's a big time quote. How about Glacial Lakes Livestock, Watertown, South Dakota, 55 head, 603 pound steers bring 192.50. Fredonia Livestock, Fredonia, Kansas, my buddy Brad on sale there at 65 head, 516 pound steers bring 207.75. And the best quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday, your National Beef Wire top quote for the day, come out of North Platte Stockyards, North Platte, Nebraska. That's my buddy Kyle Lehman's sale. 128 head, 816 pound steers bring 165.75. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.